Life management classes. Today is a great day because we are going to review how exchange creates wealth, and I'm going to give you the forgotten lesson. I forgot to tell you something about how exchange creates wealth. And so I'm giving you that today. It comes out of this book. Since I'm putting this on the internet, I'm going to reference this so that it's not a plagiarism issue. This comes out of, this is my economics book from college written by James R. Curl. It was a fascinating class, and these ideas come from this book. Okay? So I'll set that here. We're going to pretend that we all went on a motorboat trip in the ocean. We wrecked. Only 2 people survived. They were L and M, are 2 people that I can't say their names on the internet. So we had L and M survived on a deserted island. Okay? So there's a few things that they are going to need in order to survive on this island. 4 things. What are they?
Food.
Food. Okay? They're going to need food. And going along with food, they're going to need water. What else?
Shelter.
And then I'm going to add clothes. Okay? So those 4 things you're going to need, you 2 that survive, on your island. You're going to need food, water, shelter, and clothes. How many hours are you going to have every day that you're on the island? 24. Okay? So you have 24 hours per day. You can use your time in 3 ways. One way is at night, when you get tired, you will sleep. Yeah, so you can sleep. Okay? The other thing that you can do is work, and the definition that we're going to use for work is that you are producing or collecting these 4 things: food, water, shelter, and clothing. Okay? So that's work. You're going to produce these or collect these 4 things. Okay? The other thing that you could do is spend your time in leisure. I think I spelled that right. Okay? Leisure is rest and relaxation. In my last class, a couple of students were adamant about saying, well, I can fish, and that's work and leisure at the same time. But for our discussion, it's actually work because you're collecting food when you fish. So fishing is work, even if you enjoy it. Is it possible to enjoy your work? Yeah, absolutely. Okay? So you can enjoy your work, but it's still work. So L. How are you going to allocate your time? And I'm going to write that over here. How many hours are you going to spend sleeping?
Like 8.
8 hours, okay. How much time are you going to spend working?
Like 14, no.
Like
14. She's going to put in 14-hour days.
No.
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
6 to 8, you got to give me a number.
8.
8 hours, and that leaves
8.
8 hours for leisure. She's going to spend some time sitting back, watching the sunset over the ocean, cool breeze, ocean air. Okay, she's going to rest and relax, and then she's going to fall asleep and spend her 8 hours sleeping. Yes?
Could your 8 hours of leisure be sleeping?
No. Okay? Well, like if you took a nap, then you would add more time to your sleeping and less to your leisure. Does that make sense? M. How are you going to use your time?
9 hours a day of sleeping.
Okay.
And then 6 and 7. Wait.
That doesn't add to 24. Because this is at 15, So you would need 9 hours of leisure. Yeah? Okay. Here's the point that I want to make that's really important here. Is that if L uses 8 hours sleeping, she can't use any of those hours for anything else. Once she's used that hour, she's used it. It's gone. Yes? No? Okay? So if she spends an hour working, she can't use that same hour for leisure. She can't use that same hour for sleeping. Once she uses that hour, it's gone. So these two have to make a choice every day about how are they going to allocate their time. That is a result of something called scarcity. There's only so much time in the day. The hours in the day are scarce. You can't make more. And so you have to make a decision about how to use those. That's what economics is. If you take an economics class in high school, you'll talk about this a lot more in depth, and it's really, I think it's really interesting. But it's about taking resources that are limited and how do I use them? How do me and my wife use the amount of money that I get paid? How do we divide that up so that it works? That's economics. Okay? So, we're on the island. L and M have a fight. And they're like, I don't want to talk to you. They start to stink a little bit because they're there and it's hot. They start to get a little body odor. They're like, I don't want to be around you. So you go to your half of the island. I'll stay on my half of the island. And M's like, that sounds good to me because you were bugging me anyways. And so they split up. Okay? So, we're going to come over to here. And those of you who are in algebra are going to recognize this. What is that? It is a graph. Okay? It is a graph. And this is a graph of L's production. Okay? On the island, the two major sources of shelter and clothing are palm leaves. Okay? M figured out a really cool pattern to make palm leaves into some really cool skinny pants. Palm leaf skinny pants. Okay? But so for clothes and for shelter, we have palm leaves, and that's going to be on this axis. And for food and for a beverage are coconuts. And so that is going to be on this axis. Okay? And L is really good at gathering the palm leaves. She's really good at it. In fact, she can gather 80 palm leaves per hour. Okay? But she can only gather 15 coconuts per hour. And along this line, as she spends less time gathering palm leaves, she gathers more coconuts. So this is where she spends her entire hour gathering coconuts, she can get 80. But if she only spends a half hour gathering coconuts and a half hour gathering palm leaves, she's in this area right here.